check-in for us. So now we have brought in an expert to talk to you about designing a proposal and also reporting your project appropriately. So I'm going to pause a little to just say, if you're with me up to this point, just say live check in the chat box as we usually do. So if you're here, live check, vibe check. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, I'm not seeing a lot of vibes. Right, right. Thank you, Telma. Thank you, Hassan. Thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Davis. I know that the numbers will continue to climb as we go on. So we're going to use the next few minutes to introduce our guest who is already on the call and who is ready to teach us a few things that we may or may not have learned, and also from a new perspective this time. So we have none other than our distinguished, I like to call him a number of things. He's both an honorable, he's a mister when he wants to be, he's a chief when he wants to be, he's an honorable, he's just a number of things, right? But to me, he is Right Honorable Ifeoluwa Ariyoagbaje. He's an award-winning strategic communications leader and is driving innovation as the PR co-founder of Gritty PR, right? He's building AI solutions for today's PR professionals and creative innovators. And he also shapes future leaders as a co-founder and head of stakeholder management at BMON. So BMON is Babcock University. I believe that's Model United Nations, right? And he's training 3,000 plus delegates annually through BMON. He has experience leading growth at Vesti, and he's currently supporting brand and communications at PESA. He is a graduate from Babcock University, an MBA candidate at Rome Business School. And you can see like the list continues to grow. This person who is going to speak to you today is not just somebody who is a professional at PR or professional at getting people's attention. He is also very good with community engagement. He has led a lot of community focused outreaches in the past, and he's going to be speaking to you from the lens of being a student who has led change project initiatives. He's also going to be speaking to you as a professional from the PR perspective. He's just going to be speaking to you from a very well-rounded perspective today. What are we going to take out of the session? After this session, we want you to understand what we are expecting when we ask you to write a proposal, right? You have an idea, right, for something that can change your community. So we want to see a good proposal, right, that will convince us that you know what you're doing, and if we were to give you money to do that thing, it would actually come out superb. I'm not the teacher today, so I'm going to shut up now, but I want to say welcome, and I want you to please, please, please give a round of applause to Mr. Ife Ariyoagbaje, who is here with us today. A round of applause. I'm not seeing applause. Okay, I'm seeing a few. Mr. Ife, I'm going to stop sharing my screen now, so you have the floor and you can share your screen and, take us away from here. Thank you. Over to you, Ife.
All right. Thank you so much. You're making me feel like I'm the president of Nigeria. Interesting. Just a second rather. Let me share my screen. Uh, okay. Can we all see my screen? Can I just see in the chat box if you can see my screen clearly right now? Like a thumbs up. Oh, fantastic, fantastic. All right, let's get to it. I'm super excited to be here this afternoon. Amazing work you're doing, EGLMA. Thank you so much for having me. I want to appreciate the entire team that has put this together. And I want to congratulate you, the participants. Like, you should celebrate yourselves. Can I see some clapping emojis in the chat box? Celebrate yourselves for being a part of this program and learning very, very interesting conversations, interesting topical issues that it's not just for now, but things that will continue to shape how you view global issues, community impact projects, even from now on. So It's an exciting time, and I'm looking forward to an exciting session with everybody. So the topic is proposal and report writing. And I know a lot has been said about me, but I think I should also do that so that it can also set the context and also give you some background information about what I've done and how this conversation we are having this afternoon is totally aligned, and how I can be able to help you and add value to whatever you're working on, and not just for now, but even in the long term. So I graduated from Babcock University. And At the time, in my final year in school, I was the president of the entire graduating students in school. Then I was the president of the Ryan class 2017 in Babcock University. That role allowed me to be able to, carry out a lot of projects, also to be able to connect with different stakeholders that are relevant to me achieving success on those projects that we did at the time. I'll be delving into some of those instances as the conversation proceeds. I've also been able to found two ventures. One is the Babcock International Model United Nations, which he talked about. It's a capacity building conference that's been running for the past 9 years, almost a decade. Next year, we're looking forward to celebrating the 10th session somewhere outside Nigeria. It's quite exciting to see such initiatives that have grown from a very small initiative to a global initiative, essentially. Away from that, I've also been able to found Gritty PR. I'll be talking a bit about Gritty PR soon. I've also worked as global partnerships and communications lead at Vesti. Vesti is a migration fintech company that I worked with. I also supported brands and support brand and communications at Pesa. Pesa is also a remittance fintech company. So you could see that I've had some experiences within the corporate space. I've also worked within the non-profit space. I've worked on projects funded by the Foreign Commonwealth and Development Office, FCDO, UK government. I've also worked on projects funded by the Coca-Cola Foundation, which allowed me at the time to be able to travel across the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, carrying out different projects, some on plastic, recycling plastic. One was on literacy development in rural areas. So I bring on board experiences from these different initiatives that I've been able to, been privileged to be able to support. I've also been a winner of Best in Technology PR by the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR. I'm also a member of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations, NIPR. I'm also a member of the Association of Corporate Governance Professionals, Nigeria. Currently an MBA candidate at the Rome Business School. I've also had executive education at Lagos Business School, and I'm super excited to be with you on this session this afternoon. Just a bit about Gritty PR. Uh, it stems from the fact that my own personal experience as a PR practitioner, who has been working as a PR practitioner for nearly a decade, I found myself in situations whereby I will find it hard to connect with media outlets. And there's a reason why I'm telling you these personal stories of mine, and that is why I would like you to really pay attention. It is from some problems like this that you're able to find reason to be able to add purpose in life and be able to see how you can solve real problems that needs attention. The world needs you and I to be able to pick up some of these problems and solve, and not just wait for government to do some of those or provide solutions to them, but in our own little way you can begin to solve some relevant problems. So I will find myself finding it hard to connect to media outlets, influencers, journalists. I will want to pitch stories. I want to tell stories about initiatives that I'm championing or brands that I'm working with at the time, and we'll be struggling with getting stories out there. And I felt there needs to be a solution for this. Like most recently, I traveled to Nairobi, Kenya, to launch a subsidiary of a company that I was supporting at the time. And one of the problems I was having there was, how do we connect with journalists? How do we connect with brands to be able to amplify the work that we're doing? And this was what brought about Gritty PR, to be able to see how do we connect brands, how do we connect businesses to media outlets, to influencers, to journalists, and be able to serve them. Creators, there are a lot of content creators today right now. They are looking forward to how they can connect with brands, how they can be able to work collaboratively with them to tell their story, and that's what Gritty PR is basically doing, like helping brands connect with companies, exposing media outlets to a lot of companies and be able to tell their stories. Visibility and storytelling, that's what we do basically. Transforming modern PR and the creative economy with artificial intelligence solutions for 1 billion global brands. That's what we're doing at Gritty PR. So I told you that so you'll be able to see where I'm coming from, what I've been able to do, and how this conversation, writing proposal, report writing really, really matters. And this is why it matters. Impactful communication, when you are able to write proposals well, when you're able to write reports well, you can really, really have not just communicating, but communication that is saddled with a lot of impact. There's impact in what you're communicating, essential for securing resources. I know many of us will be working on a lot of projects, and then one of the things that you're looking forward to, how do you get resources? I remember when I was working at Vesti, one of the things that we had then, someone that was leading partnerships and communications, I was always receiving a lot of proposals. People reaching out to us to say, "Oh, we want you to sponsor our initiatives. We want you to be a partner." And there are a lot of things that we see. We like there are some proposals that we see, and we know that just on the surface level, seeing them, we know that this proposal cannot fly. So we see all these things and we're like, no, how do we make sure that people actually put in the right messaging when they are reaching out to brands, when they are reaching out to donors, when they are reaching out to companies to sponsor initiatives that they are championing? This is very, very, very important. So that's why a conversation talking about why proposal and report writing matters is very, very germane, and it's important that you pay attention and see how it can help you in whatever you're working on at this material time. Leadership skill is also one of the reasons why this is very important. You're able to demonstrate initiative, planning, and accountability. Demonstrating initiative, it's a soft skill. Again, in the workplace, there are a lot of skills that are being looked for. I remember when we were trying to recruit for some roles in my company at the time, part of the key things that we're looking for is not the certificate that that person has gotten in school, but can this person take initiative? Is this person proactive? And these things are very important in proposal writing and reports. In report writing, we'll come back to report, but I should talk about is that you don't need to wait till you are asked for an update before you give an update. You don't need to wait. Even if even in a corporate setting, if a task has been assigned to you and they are giving that task, as soon as you complete that task or as you progress in the completion of that task, it's important that you give real-time updates. In case you're having a blocker, that whoever you are giving report to can be able to help you and pave a way for you that that blocker is being removed and you can make headway. So it's important. Why proposal writing, report writing is very important. Leadership skill, you'll be able to demonstrate initiative, you can plan, and you can hold yourself accountable to people in high authority. A professional development, it builds your valuable skills for future careers. Like I was saying, I'm not just talking to you right now for whatever you're working on at this material time, but even beyond it, not just for what you're doing right now, but beyond it, that you can see that the learnings you are getting right now, it's very important for your professional development. You are building valuable skills for your future career, and you are helping to improve community involvement. You are getting yourself involved in community initiatives and impact. Finally, youth voice and amplification. You're able to amplify your voice. One of the things that we do at Bimon that I talked about earlier is to be able to give young people a voice. So when you're working on community projects, you are having a voice. You are giving yourself a voice to be able to contribute to a project that is even bigger than you. You are contributing to a big picture. You are able to go beyond the ordinary, like you are going the extra mile in whatever you are doing. So this is very, very important. I want to congratulate you and tell you that you should count yourself very, very, very privileged to be in a session like this where we're talking to you about proposal writing and report writing. It is skill that a lot of people right now, even in the corporate setting, they don't have. They don't even know how. They when they approach tasks like this, they approach it haphazardly. They just do it anyhow, not with intention. So because while you're doing this, you must have the goal at the back of your mind. You must be able to picture the end, even from the beginning, to know that I'm doing this because I want to secure some resources. Resources in the sense of perhaps you're looking for funding, perhaps you're looking to get some contacts to some people that can add value to whatever you're doing at that material time. Yeah, this is very, very important. I'll give you an instance. In school, there are a lot of associations in school when they have their departmental weeks. They will always reach out to brands and companies to say, oh, please, we're having a departmental week. We have this. They will list out lineup of activities to say, we need your brand to support us. And this, do you know one of the things you ask yourself, why is it that most of them don't get the sponsorship that they request for? It's because most times there is no alignment. There's no alignment between the interests of that particular brand, that particular company, that particular stakeholder, that particular HNI that you're reaching out to sponsor, and whatever the association on campus is working on at that material. There's no alignment. So when you're writing proposals like this, you want to make sure that there is an alignment. I that is on the receiving end, I can see already that no, 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 this aligns with our priorities at this material time. Like, you must be able to look out for what is the priority of this company I'm reaching out to. Or if it's an individual, an high networked individual, what is the priority? Is this HNI, is the person prioritizing adding value to community based initiatives? If it is not in alignment, they will not give you audience. So you want to make sure that you are reaching out, you do your stakeholder mapping very well, that the people you are sending out letters to them with intention, and you know that they are in alignment with your own interest. There is that handshake between the interest of the brand and you that you're reaching out. The same thing you see, I will give you another relevant example. You see core members. For those that are familiar with the NYC initiative, there comes a time when they are doing their when they are trying to wrap up the 1 year program. They tell them to do some community-based projects, and you see them also go back to the drawing board to see how they can reach out to people that can support such community initiatives. If there is no alignment between those initiatives that they are putting together and whoever they are reaching out to, perhaps a big brand, a big company, an HNI, like whoever they are reaching out to, if there is no alignment, they won't get audience. So you want to make sure that all these things are very, very important. You put them into cognizance. So in understanding proposals, we need to lay the foundation. What is actually a proposal? It's a formal document. It's as simple as that. It is a formal document. What's it supposed to do? It's supposed to persuade the reader to support a project. It can be an idea or an initiative. So I try to give us the simplest definition. Like, it's a formal document. That is, you want whoever is reading that document to be able to support your project, to support your idea. Perhaps you have one beautiful idea, you have one incredible idea, one mind-blowing idea, or you have an initiative that you are championing in your community. It can even be in the church. Some people, they champion a lot of projects in the church, in your religious organization, or even in the community. It can be in your school, regardless of wherever. That is what a proposal. It's a format. The goal is it should be able to persuade whoever is at that receiving end to support. If it's not persuasive enough for that person to be able to support you, it had defeated the purpose. And what are the elements? There must be a problem. There's a problem that you've identified. That what's that problem that I've identified I want to solve? So you must clearly define the need and the opportunity. What is the need? Why are you reaching out to us to support your project? Why are you doing that? What is the opportunity therein? What problem are we trying to solve? I gave you instances of some projects I worked on with some donors. The plastic project where we're recycling plastic PET bottles. We had a mandate of gathering thousands of PET bottles across the country and be able to recycle them into powder forms that we'll be able to use to develop alternative learning centers for people in rural communities. That was what that project was about, funded by the Coca-Cola Foundation at the time. So that was a problem. We saw that there were a lot of plastic bottles. People just litter everywhere with plastic bottles. You see PET bottles littered all around. And we were like, how do we repurpose these PET bottles into powders that can be made into bricks to build alternative learning centers for people in internally displaced people's camps? That was the problem we identified at that time. I'm just using that as an instance, as an example for you. So you see that you must be able to find out what problem, define that problem statement. Then you move forward to the solution. What's the solution that you are bringing forward? So you describe the project to address the problem. You must be able to do a thorough description of the project, that it must address that problem that you've identified. So if you don't have a problem statement, you cannot propose a solution. It is the problem first before the solution. Then your goals and objectives, they must be SMART: specific, measurable, attainable. It must be result-based and time-bound. Relevant. It must be achievable. These things are very, very important. I gave some instances. If I'm talking about problem statement, in this instance on my slide here, you can see the problem I was trying to carve there was that there was a lack of youth engagement in local environmental initiatives. There are some states in Nigeria today, perhaps every last Saturday, they do environmental sanitation initiatives. Some it's on a Thursday, but I think in Lagos it's on a Thursday. So here we are talking about the fact that there are youths don't really engage in these local environmental initiatives. And what's the solution? Organizing a youth-led community cleanup and recycling program. That was the solution that in this case study I'm giving you on this slide is saying. And what are the goals and what's the goal and objective? That is SMART, is to increase youth participation by 30% within 6 months. You can see it is time bound. Within 6 months, we must be able to achieve this milestone. So this is just the foundation of writing proposals. Like, you must just know the basics. What's our problem? What problem are we solving? What's the solution? What's our goal? So if you're able to do this at the very, very basic level, you can be able to now layer on this basic knowledge and be able to amplify and stretch it further, essentially. So on this slide, I'm going to give access to my slide to the organizing team so that they can share with you, and you can also go through and get some of the learning points. So, but I'm not going to play the video on this slide, but this video, when you have access to this slide, it went into the nitty-gritty on how to write a proposal. When you watch this video on this slide, it takes you like through that step-by-step process. And there are proposals for different initiatives. So you need to now look at the contextual relevance to your own whatever thing you're working on. So perhaps it's on a very small scale. Perhaps what you're working on is a small scale project in a big, small community. You now adapt it to be contextually relevant to yours. There are some people that project is to write to do a bigger project. You know, that project. When we talk about projects must have a beginning, it must have an end. Like, it's something that you are starting, you already know that you are starting it, and you also have an end. So this video, I will really want to encourage you to please create time to watch this video. There are 2 videos on the slide. Create time to watch this particular video, and you get more relatable examples based on your own context and use case on how to write a proposal. Very, very important. So I'll be moving to the
Visme allows you to play CT.
Yeah, so crafting a compelling proposal. So I try to give you some summary on what are those step by step. You must be able to find a need for it. Needs assessment. Conduct a thorough research to understand the problem. If you don't have a thorough understanding of what the problem you're trying to solve is, it's like it's dead on arrival. So you must be able to do a thorough needs assessment. Is it a problem that is worth solving? There are some problems that has been overflogged. Is it a problem that already has been solved over and over again, and perhaps you need to be more creative, and look for more problems that are very, very relevant to the time. So you need to do some introspection and think. And that's why, if you recall, in school, then when we were in school, when we want to submit our project topics, final year project topics, you need to first of all do what, because you submit a topic to create a case for that project that this is a project I want to write about. They will approve it. Some project topics are not approved because the supervisor already feels like this has been overflogged. You need to think deeply, look for something that is relevant to this time, that needs to be solved, that needs attention. And that's how you should be able to think. And that's what we are building leaders like you to be able to look inwards, be more creative, look for problems that needs real solutions, localized problems that we can be able to galvanize solutions from, not just nationally, but internationally, on a global scale. Project design, develop a plan. You must have a plan. Develop a plan with activities, timelines, and responsibilities. You must be able to do that. There's a quote I learned at the when we started BMON in 2017. There was one of our advisors that we visited then. He used to be a lecturer in Covenant University. And when we were having a very close-up meeting with him, he left us with a quote that has continued to linger in my memory to date. He says, "What you don't inspect, you don't expect." So you must be able to develop a plan, timelines, and responsibilities. Know who are the stakeholders, who are the internal stakeholders relevant to that whatever you're working on. You will be able to identify it in your proposal. Who are the external stakeholders? Perhaps the people you are sending these proposals to. Who are they? It is when you have a thorough understanding of both your internal stakeholders and your external stakeholders that you can marry them together and know that this proposal I'm putting together, this is the right stakeholder that it needs to be sent to. Because you also have clear understanding of what the interest of that stakeholder is. Very, very important. Activities, you must be able to break it down. Whoever will give you money to fund an initiative wants to see what is this our money used for. They want to see, are we getting value from this engagement? Is there visibility for our brand? They are protecting their own interests. So that alignment, that interest alignment is so sacrosanct. It's so very important. You cannot compromise on it. So you must develop a plan. They want to see that you even have, you know your onions. They want to see that, yes, we can go to bed. And this thing is very relevant. Let me bring it on a more global scale. I work with a lot of venture firms and startups, and they're always looking for funding. I've also worked with a venture capital firm before. So I've been on both ends, on the side of a venture capital firm, looking at a lot of pitch decks or startups that are looking for funding. I've also been on the side of a startup looking for funding from an investor. So an investor wants to see what is the potential of exit. If I give you money to fund your startup, I give you thousands of dollars to fund this startup. What can I see can I even see what your data room, what does it look like? Do you have your corporate governance in place? Do you have what's the culture of your organization? They look at it. What are your numbers saying? What's the traction like? What have you done? You show workings. In local parlance, they'll say show workings. So you must be able to show those. What are the activities? What are the timelines? What are the key milestones as this project we progress? So you must be able to schedule. In this case, I was giving an example to say schedule weekly cleanup events, and you assign roles. If you don't assign roles, it's already a failure. You must be able to say, this is the person responsible for this. And you must have a system of being able to say that this is how I'm going to follow up with this person to ensure that this task assigned to XYZ is implemented, and not just implemented anytime, but at record time. This is so very important. So project design, I don't want to waste time on that. Budgeting, they want to see your financials. You create a realistic budget outlining all expenses. Whatever you are going to be spending money, you will show it like this is what we will do. Or maybe it's to dig a borehole in a community. This is the cost. These are the quotations. These are the invoices we've gathered. This is the like you must be able to show those. These are this is what the income we are proposing that we'll get. This is the proposed expenditure. So this is a very important evaluation plan. Determine how you will measure success. You must be able to measure success of your project. There's a book that says measure what matters. I can't remember the author of the book now. You need to look for that book and read it. Measure what matters. Like you be able to look at your OKRs, objective key results, evaluation plan. There are a lot of projects. Let me take you back again to the project with the Coca-Cola Foundation and the Foreign Commonwealth at the mayor office. On that project, we had an M&E specialist, someone that was focused on monitoring and evaluation. Because at the end of those projects funded by donors, we needed to come up with a policy document. We needed to do a proper closeout of that project to say, these were our findings on the field. These are our recommendations. In fact, we went further to even write academic papers and we publish in reputable journals just to make sure that we back it up and show that these were real findings that we got from the field, from real people. So you must have an evaluation plan. People that want to give you resources to support your work, they want to see that you have your house in order. That is when they will fund whatever project you are doing. That is when they will be able to say no. Even without asking you plenty of questions, they know that you have your house in order and they can go to bed. They can go to bed and know that you are doing what you have said that you will do. This is very, very key. So let me move straight to report writing, showcasing your impact. What's report writing? Definition, it says it's also a formal document. And what does it do? It provides a detailed account of a project's progress. That's just it. There's no two ways about it. Like, it's a formal document. I'm trying to make this very relatable and simple as much as possible. It's a formal document and it provides a detailed account of a project's progress. You are not coming to, again, if you look at this definition, I'm not saying I'm giving an account of the project that is already completed. No, of the project's progress. That is, as that project is evolving, I am giving a formal, a detailed account of its progress. I won't give you money and you now come back to me. It is when you have completed the task that you now come and tell me that, oh, I've completed the task, this is it. No, that does not show accountability. First week, when you did your first week on that project, you communicate. Oh, we have just completed the first week of this project that we said we were setting out to do. Our first week was remarkable. These were the things that we did. We met the traditional ruler in the community. We met the chiefs. We met the religious leaders. These are some of the feedbacks they gave us. They were very helpful for us, even as we progress to week 2 of this project, and we're looking forward to consolidating on the engagement that we've had on the field already. We are excited about what week 2 will hold for us. That shows that you know what you're doing. If you send that to me, I've given you money to run a project that perhaps you told me to take 6 weeks. You come back to me after week 1 and you give me that kind of report. I'm in my house or I'm on vacation somewhere and I'm seeing my email, I'm seeing that report. I'm excited. It gives me fulfillment. Did I ask for that report? No. But you are duty bound to provide such reports. Again, if you look at this definition, it says provides a detailed account of a project's progress as it's evolving. I will give you another instance. As a startup company, one of the things that is expected of startup companies to do is that as they are reaching milestones, as they are making progress, they are supposed to communicate with investors that have given them money. And I will give you an instance. When I was working at a particular startup, one of my KPIs, one of my duties every month was to write emails to all our partners and investors. I had that responsibility because I was also managing investor relations. So I was always writing global events updates. That's always the title of that email. Every month I was writing that email to keep our investors, our partners in the loop of what we were doing at that material time. It was very important. I'm sending a report to them, not that they should give me feedback. They give me feedback, fine. But to keep them abreast, it is very important. It's very important. Also, let me break it down. If your team lead, if perhaps you are be put into different teams, different groups, and in those groups there are roles that have been assigned. There's a team lead, there's a secretary, there's a project coordinator, there is this person, and the team lead has given you a task as the secretary or has given you a task as the project coordinator. Don't wait for your team lead. Fine, you guys are colleagues on that level. But someone that is well trained will know that on this project, I must accord my team lead its respect. And the team leader has his own job, his own KPI. I, as the project coordinator, I have my KPI. And as project coordinator, I'm duty bound to give real updates, up to date information about whatever I'm doing in my own little office to that team lead. Even though if people we are like colleagues, but on that project, there's hierarchy. That shows you as a professional, it shows you as an expert. So before that team lead that quote and unquote is my colleague, is my friend, before he or she will come and ask me and say, if there was the update on the project we are working on, I should naturally have given updates. I should not wait for him or her to come and ask me for updates. Because if I'm experiencing any blocker on that, he or she may be able to help me take away that blocker, or even give me some more insights, or even giving me some more introductions to people that matter in me achieving success in that my own little office as a project coordinator. Am I communicating? I want to see reactions in the comment section that people are getting what I'm saying. Yes, I love that. I love that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I love that. So I want to see reactions and comments in the group and the chat box that this thing you are getting value from what I'm saying. I love that. So let me proceed. So you must be able to do that. And what's the purpose? The purpose is just to inform stakeholders. I already talked to you about stakeholders, and I'm sure that there's also some trainings that you've gone through about what stakeholders are, who stakeholders are rather. So the purpose of report writing is to keep your stakeholders informed. There may be internal stakeholders, there may be external stakeholders. You must always keep them informed. There should never be a time that stakeholders on any project you're working on, they are at sea, or they are in dilemma, or they don't even know that group A, what are they even doing? Your stakeholders should never feel like they don't even know what is happening in this group or what is happening on this project. There should never be a time that your stakeholders are at sea. They are dead to the reality of what you are going through. The purpose again is to demonstrate accountability. And finally, to contribute to knowledge sharing. Nobody knows it all. You must be able to share knowledge. And who are the target audience when you are doing reporting? Funders, people that will give you money. Funders. In fact, do you know that reporting can also be done to people? Someone that, if next year, let me give you another, how interesting this is. If I have a project next year, maybe let's say next year, August, and there's somebody that I've already mapped out in my stakeholder mapping, that this person, I need this person to fund this initiative. The project is next year. Do you know you have to be strategic from now to do things and be visible to that person? Part of that is making sure that person is even in your network and that person is seeing your activities. So you are intentional, you are communicating, you are demonstrating. The person but the person will know that top of mind, I have come across these people before. Yes, I saw them last year. You did your homework well. The target audience are funders, community members, program organizers, and other interested parties. These are key people that are relevant to this. What are the essential components of a strong report? You must have an executive summary, a concise overview of the project. Like, it gives an overview of what has been up to date. Includes key findings, your recommendations. Just like the instance I gave, maybe week 1, you saw this, your findings. You give recommendations. You solicit for advice. In fact, if you need support, you make it there. You put it to you send it to the person and say, sir, if perhaps you have relationships with XYZ, we know that we will need them in week 3. You're already making a case for something you will need in week 3, in week 1. Whoever is reading that knows that you know what you are doing. So the main thing, before you need something, you must be able to demonstrate value. It's just like, let me make this very relatable one. Like, there are some people on the issue of black tax, there are some family members that will always send that when you see their message, you know that this person wants to ask for money. You already know that this person is always money, this person is always asking for. Every time, there's no value. But you must be able to position yourself that you are value adding to this person. That by the time you make a case, it is well received and you are getting the necessary support. That is very, very important. So executive summary that includes an overview of the project, includes key findings and recommendations. Methodology, it describes the approach that you use in implementing the project. If you are writing to a brand, you're writing to a big company, you're writing to a Dangote, you're writing to a Total to fund a community project. Maybe it's even in this, let's say in the south area of Nigeria, where oil drilling and all the likes go on, and you are trying to get the attention of those oil companies. Your approach, how do you want to implement the project? You must be able to show them results. Present the project outcomes. Show them what is the outcome. Let them be able to see the end from the beginning and analyze the significance. How does it add value to them? How does it add value to you? Does it become a win-win for both parties? You that you are championing the project and whoever is supporting it. These things are very, very important. Data presentation, telling the story with numbers. Like, I cannot end this presentation without telling you that you must be able to tell the story with numbers. Storytelling is so very powerful, highly profound. Visual aids, use charts, graphs, tables to present your data clearly. Don't bore the person you are reaching out to with a lot of epistles. Make it be creative about your reports. Use charts, use graphs, use tables, present your data clearly. Statistical significance. You need to highlight significant findings. What's the impact of the project? Qualitative data. Are there quotes that are relevant? Are there testimonials? You need to humanize the process. Humanize it. All these things will help you to tell a very good story with numbers when you are engaging and giving feedback and reports. This is the second video on this slide. I'm not going to be playing it, but I want you to watch at your convenience. Watch at your convenience. I'm going to provide a slide to the organizers and they'll share with you. Here I have what are the best practices. Clarity and conciseness. You must use clear, simple language. Avoid jargons. Don't speak big grammar. Avoid jargons. Accuracy and objectivity. Present your information clearly. Avoid bias. Organization and structure. Follow a logical flow. Let there be a beginning, a midpoint, a conclusion. Use headings to guide your reader. Let them be able to see, okay, this is heading, this is sub-heading, this is the conclusion. Let them be able to see. Before you hit send, proofread and edit your work. Review your work from errors in grammar and in spelling. Make sure that there are no grammar. It irritates. When I see proposals, you see, and you're like, you're seeing grammar, you like, these people, they don't know what they are doing. You begin to doubt their pedigree. Meanwhile, it was just an oversight that person did not proofread or did the work well. So you want to avoid that. You don't want to be at a disadvantaged position. So you must be able to cross your T's and dot your I's, proofread and edit well. These things are very important. And finally, the tools and resources for your proposal and report writing. There are a lot of writing guides. Leverage Google. Google. Go on online. There are a lot of, like, just leverage it to your advantage. If there are donors, there are donors that will give you, they will even give you, what are those things? Grand database. They will show you, these are the things we are looking forward to. Adhere by their instructions. Don't feel like you know it better than the person that wants to give you money. That, no, this was how they taught me in school. No. If a donor has given you a guideline on how you should apply for the funding, follow the guidelines. Don't go outside of the guidelines, because you'll be shooting yourself. So you want to abide by every of these stated guidelines given to you. There are online templates you can leverage. There are artificial intelligence enabled templates right now that makes life easier. And you must be able to now adapt it to your own context. And don't take everything online, hook, line, and like you just take everything verbatim. No. That is where you humanize the process. You add your own touch. You add your own touch to it. Don't just take everything online, copy and paste. No. You add your own touch. That is when you are showing that, yes, you are educated, you are learned. So these things are very, very important. The videos I attached in this slide have really gone into the nitty-gritty of this subject matter, and I want you to watch them at your convenience. But what I've given you now is more like an overview, and I try to make it relatable for you, giving you instances, relevant examples based on my own story, based on my own experience on the field, and even in practice. And I believe that this will be very helpful for you as you proceed, not just on whatever you're working right now, but even in your career and everything you lay your hands upon. I want to appreciate you for giving me the time to speak to you this afternoon. You can connect with me. That's my contact, my email address. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time speaking with you all.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Sefe. You can see the applause and the hearts emojis in the chat box. Everyone is so happy to have been part of this session. Thank you so much for taking out your time to teach us today. I learned some stuff from today, and I'm sure that our students also learned a lot. So first of all, I'm going to say, for all of you who are here, who are in the chat box right now, I want you to go on Telegram and tell them what they have missed today. Just go and be like, guys, you have missed. I mean, and when you tell them you have missed, tell them you can go back and rewatch this on YouTube for the next 24 hours. Seriously, guys, go now on Telegram and say, this is what you have missed. You have missed a lot today. And while we're at it, the attendance is in the chat box. Please give me a second. So you can also get the attendance link today. All right. Thank you so much. And I really want to applaud you, Ms. Fair, for even keeping to time. You actually gave us some more time back, and you didn't just give us time because you rushed the session. You actually gave us everything that we need. So guys, in the chat, tell me, some of you that have been saying, oh, how are we going to write our proposal? Oh, when can we write our proposal? If there's somebody here who feels ready to put their community change project proposal into a document now, if you're ready, if you feel like, oh, you go all you need after you have gone through the session on stakeholder engagement and proposal writing, please let me know. If you have a clearer view now of what your change project would look like, let me see it. Thank you, Akimbobola. I can see you. You're like, yes, that's what we're about. Peace Oguche. Yes. Solomon Samuel. Yes, that's what we are about. Thank you so much. We'll be ending the session very quickly, as you know. I just want to check in the chat box if there are any questions. Okay, some people are asking for your email. I think that's the only question that is here now, but we will share this slide that you have given us with the students so they can reach you via email if they need to. But students, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat box. We can address it in the next few minutes. You can put it, or you can put it in the Q&A segment rather, so that okay, can we get a sample of a written project proposal? Yes, you'll be getting one of those. I would also like Mr. Ife to share if he has anyone he personally would recommend. We will obviously recommend one that is a good project proposal for Leap Africa. And for the themes, I just want to use this opportunity to remind us, right? This year, our themes are on facilitating good governance and resolving key national questions. Please refer back to your participants handbook for what the projects that you are proposing this year should look like, right? You can already see what it looks like, and we'll be giving you a model project proposal that you can, model your own proposal after. But you need to be as ambitious as possible. You need to identify your stakeholders as much as possible, right? I'm trying to see if there are any other questions in the chat. Please, how can we take attendance? I had just put the attendance link in the chat box, and I'll be doing that again. I will also share my screen for you to be able to scan the QR code. Please give me a moment while I put that up. And I want to believe that everyone here is already on Telegram, but if you're not on Telegram, I will also share the Telegram link as usual so that you can also join us on Telegram if you are not there yet. Please give me a moment while this loads. Okay, the attendance is now up on the screen, and I will be dropping it in the chat box as well. It's here now. Can we mention the name of the bodies we would like to collaborate with on our Of course, there's going to be a part of the proposal where you're going to mention all your stakeholders, the community members, the people you want to work with. Let's say, for instance, you're entering a community and you want to work with even the local government chairman. You can as well write the name of the local government chairman or the role of the people that you want to reach out to. Hi, John Clement. I just want to believe that you were maybe you were invited by Mr. Ife. This is a learning session for participants on the Youth Leadership Development Program. This is a program that seeks to equip and inspire young people to seek national development from their own little corners and from the grassroots level. Participants on this program are undergraduate students from Nigeria, right? And this is one of our sessions, and we are so glad to have Mr. Ife be our facilitator for today, right? As we said before, we'll be giving you a sample, a template, and then a sample proposal, right? So you can see the template would allow you to maybe use 1 page or at most 2 pages to tell us about your project and how that project is going to change lives. So be on the lookout for that. You will be receiving that shortly. All right, thank you everyone. We have 4 minutes. Me too, I can't scan it, but I filled the form already. Okay, so you can either scan or use the link under. So you have bit.ly YLDP 2025 attendance week 2, day 2. The attendance is also in the chat box. You can use that as well. I've put it there again, so you can either scan or use the link. I'm checking those from a particular school are going to be working on the same project. Yes. You have to be in the same school. So you can either have a community change project, or you can participate in the debates competition. For the debates, you are debating key national issues, right, in the country today. And if you make it to the final, you will still have to do a change project, right, with part of your earnings. So those who are on the debate track can win as much as 2.5 million naira, that they will share between their team members, but some of that money must go into a change project. So, but if you're on the community change project track, you will be carrying out a change project And once we get to your proposal and your proposal is great, we'll be sub-granting some money to support you to do your change project. And the reason that we are teaching you how to write a winning proposal is so that you can convince us that your project needs this money. And even aside from convincing us, the Leap Africa team, you can also convince your stakeholders to give you more money. Let's say, for instance, your project wins the large sub-grant, which is about 400,000 naira. These learnings that you are accumulating now can support you to even reach out to more stakeholders to raise even much more funds, right? And you even do more, and you end up using a lot more money to do your project because you were able to convince project stakeholders that you know what you're doing and their money is going to a good cause, right? So I'm sharing now the link to the Telegram group chat. This is for people who are signed up to the YLDP, right? And you want to, so every day we obviously try to come back and give ourselves thoughts on what we are learning. All right. Okay. Anyways, thank you. I'm trying to see if there are any other comments that I may be missing. All right, so this is to remind you, if you're coming for the live sessions and you're not finishing your available courses on the LMS for the week, you are wrong. You're supposed to be taking these live sessions side by side your LMS. If you know any of your team members or anybody from your school who is falling off, please, please, please tell them there is no more time. By next week, we're supposed to be gathering your proposal. So please, 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 we need you to complete your learning and start thinking about putting your proposals together so that once we send you the template, you can as well fill it and return it back to us. And also for those who are on the debate, that's the community advocacy pathway, please, you can also start thinking of the topics that you would like to debate in your short video. Please be on the lookout via your email and on Telegram for more information on our next steps. For now, please go back, rewatch this video. If you missed any part of it, go finish up your LMS for the week and have a wonderful holiday, guys. We will be reaching out to you very shortly. Thank you so much. We want to give you back your time today, so we're not spending so much time, and it's exactly 4 p.m. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful holiday ahead. Bye-bye, everyone.